You know, the Trump told Nigeria one certain time that they should, if they did not give us referendum or play along, that they should wait for what is coming before them. And secondly again, that May 30th is a date to expose Nigeria.
How?
Now, it's a date to see the wickedness of Nigeria, the hatred of Nigeria, the atrocities, part of the things we are complaining about. Take a look at June 12th. Before Buhari second tenure, which he finally recognized and declared June 12th as a democracy day in Nigeria, Yorubas do observe June 12th. True or false? They do observe June 12th. How many times has Nigerian government, including the Fulanis, rise or rose against June 12th, telling Yorubas not to hold June 12th or not to that day to observe it? It has never happened. And they come to talk of June 12th. Who even made June 12th and who is original June 12th? June 12th was not given to the West by a Yoruba man. It was an Igbo man sacrifice. It was an Igbo man integrity. It was an Igbo man principle. It was an Igbo man policy. It was an Igbo man humility. It was Igbo man simplicity. Truth. Igbo man was the one that sacrificed in the midst of all odds. It was in the military time, which IBB was the president of Nigeria as at that time. Military, do you know what it means? Under the watch of military, a military man who brought out his own family member to come and contest in election. An Igbo man stood and declared the original winner that Yorubas are claiming today as June 12th. That Nigeria are now recognized by the second tenure of Buhari as June 12th. And nobody have ever set a gun against them. Why is it that Igbos want to observe anything Igbo man want to do? Do you know that that Unveils who sacrificed himself has never been honored by Nigerian government? The last time under this tenure of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he intended to honor the man. Yoruba stood in the house. The Fulani stood in the house against it. And Yoruba, the one that baffles me, are the Yoruba senators that said the man has not done anything. For them to say that shows me how ridiculous Yorubas can be. How betrayous they can be. A man who stood in the midst of that. See, principle, he chose death for life. Because that time, if IBB decided to kill him, nothing will happen as a military. Take a look at what happened in June 12th. When IBB decided not to hand over the power to the declared winner, as at that time, MKO, Abiola, did the heaven fall? What happened? Nothing. Even when MKO rose up against that very election result, what happened to him? He was arrested and thrown into prison. Of which, if not for God, which at the end of the day, that was the process at which he died. I'm talking about MKO Abiola. That was the process at which he died, including Obasanjo, was thrown into prison. If not for God intervening in the case of Obasanjo, Obasanjo would have too died in the prison. Many of them like that. But to somebody sacrificed, somebody paid that price. But the Yorubas has never for one day acknowledged it, nor value the importance of the Igbos in Nigeria, especially even in Lagos here. They never give us that period, they never give us that respect. Yet, they're still, now, is it not Yoruba man that is the president? Yet, look at what he's doing. Carrying our brother, Nnamdi Kanu, giving him illegal justice, illegal judgment, throw him into prison. Now, El-Rufai is outside. You get it? El-Rufai now is outside. Then Kanu remains in the prison. That is to tell you the injustice going on against the Christian nations, Christian people, Christian tribe, the Biafrans in Nigeria. The hatred which they are. So So far, so good. Whatsoever Sheikh Fulanis, Nigerian military, and the police, their uniform men in Nigeria is doing, let them go ahead. That day, our own is to keep our fingers crossed and watch the drama play.
Well said, Biafra evangelist. As usual, you've done the needful to it. A man has come out to say that the current book that Yakubu Gowon released is a tactics to fight the Igbos from becoming the president. This is currently causing a debate on the internet. That the book that Gowon wrote, talking about the Aburi Accord disagreement by Yakubu Gowon, is just a tactic to stop the Igbos from being the president. Biafra evangelist, would you concur to this, or you would say no to this statement made by Biafran agitator?
Yeah, the Biafra agitator have actually said it, but I am not, far from the truth because he did not speak far from the truth. It is a strategic book because if you look into that book, he was referring to Aburi Accord, which he has never believed on. And in that book, he now lied. Elders, that is why he will die, he will not have peace in the grave. Because at his age, if he continue deceiving Nigeria as at this level of time of his life, I believe that at his age now he's supposed to stand up and speak the truth. Look at Obasanjo. Obasanjo is trying to save his head because he made the statement that he's trying to do what? He know that he's getting closer to the grave. So he has to, drop some certain things. But Gowon doesn't want to drop lies. He wrote that he tried to make peace with Ojukwu, that Ojukwu was the cause of the war. Did you agree in the Aburi Accord Ojukwu now slap you? No. Did you agree in Aburi Accord Ojukwu shot you gun? No. Did you agree on Aburi Accord Ojukwu stop you from moving? No. Did you agree on that Aburi Accord and Ojukwu refused to submit to the federal court? At the end of the day, the answer is no. Then how did Ojukwu now cause the Biafran war? And even beside this, when you are talking about making peace, what kind of step did you take in making peace? You sign a break accord and you depart from it. Which step do you not take? You did not mention it. So it is all strategic because they are now seeing Obi as the eyes of the youth, the people. Because most of the elders and the elder statesmen in Nigeria did not really wanted Obi, as being an Igbo man per se. So they don't want to be. But they have seen it that Obi is the choice of the people. And how many elderly men do we have in Nigeria? Their population is not to the standard to the population of the youth. And Obi is the choice of the youth. So there is every eventuality that the youth will come in mass. And moreover, APC now, with their current state of governance, is not giving Nigerians joy. So Obi is now having that upper hand. So he has to release the book sponsored by the government of Nigeria so that the book will now serve to convince the Nigerian youth who have the passion for Obi to kill that passion so that Obi will not be voted in come 2027. So it's part of the game. And I told you before that I'm not in support of Obi being president because I'm not in Nigeria.
Okay.
Do you understand? And somebody will say, you are in, yes, I'm in Nigeria because somebody made me to be in Nigeria. Not that it's my wish. And neither is it the wish of my parents. They only found themselves there. And that is why we are saying it now that we don't want because it's not working. After a marriage that does not work, definitely for peace to reign, for life to remain, everybody go your separate ways. You understand me? So I don't want to be. But since it has gotten to this, the game they are playing is to discourage and to cause more confusion in the heart of the youth and discourage the youth, the lovers of Obi, so that the hatred will now rise from the youth again, so that the Jagaban or whosoever may be Atiku may be the one to go into power. And that is what me believe. Pankwaso make a statement which is not far from the truth. Obi is going 4 years. And after, if Obi should go for for another 4 years, he need to come and meet them. Telling you that means that Nigeria is in their hand. In other words, the meaning of that language means that they are born to rule. For you to rule Nigeria, you must meet the Fulanis. And how long shall we continue in this? And how long shall we continue be, be enslaved by these total strangers? Because Fulanis are not Nigerian. They are strangers. We have the date of their arrival into this country. The date is there. But the British, the criminal British government, which the nemesis is telling on them now cornered everything and placed Nigeria in the state where they are today. You get it? So all these things you see indirectly, either article or Kwankwaso is playing a game downfall of Petobi so that what is it called? Jagaba will continue. I'm not against Jagaba. Continue. Whosoever that want to continue should continue. Whosoever that want to rule should rule. But on a real sense, why don't you allow the real winner to emerge? If he did not do well, you vote him out. People will still vote him out so that the country will move forward. What everybody like me is talking about is a good governance, not autocracy.
Well said, Biafra Evangeli. The former governor of Ebonyi State has come out to clearly say that the Biafra that the Igbos are looking for is Tinubu. This is currently Tinubu. That the Biafra Nigeria is looking for is Tinubu. This is on the Vanguard newspaper currently. David Umahi said it. What do you have to say concerning this?
Excuse me. David Umahi sometimes he get confused in his statement. I don't know. I see him as a man that is well read, that as an engineer. He went to school, but sometimes the way he sounds surprises me. How can you say that the Biafra we are looking for is Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Okay, it could be true, indirect word, that through the mistake of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Biafra will come. Or maybe Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will be the last president of Nigeria. His actions will now make Biafra to come. Maybe that is what it means. Or probably maybe after the election, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not win, he may sign Biafra, then scatter Nigeria. Probably, who knows? I don't know. I'm just trying to, reason that statement. You understand? I'm trying to play along with his statement, what it means. Because how can you say that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the Biafra we are looking for? Is Bola Ahmed Tinubu ever supported Biafra? Is Bola Ahmed Tinubu ever come from the ashes of Biafra? Where was Bola Ahmed Tinubu during the war? Which role did Bola Ahmed Tinubu play regarding to the Biafran war? So how come Biafra Tinubu now become the Biafra we are looking for? In what sense? I don't know. That's why I put it the way I put it before. A kind of to counterbalance it. Maybe that is what he meant. But beside those my analysis, I don't see Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the Biafra we are looking for. Because Biafra is bigger than Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Biafra is bigger than Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot even come outside and say that he is Biafra because he did not even ask him the meaning of Biafra. He don't know. How can somebody be the Biafra we are looking for when you don't know the meaning? To play politics. Simon Ekpan is agitated for freedom. Agitation is not a crime. Self-determination is not a sin. But why is it that Nigerian government is, anything that comes in the side of Igbos, the way they used to take it? Take a look. Remember our last remembrance, the way Nigerian government push the soldiers down to east, saying that they are not going to hold. But quite unfortunately, at the end of the day, what happened? We hold and we had our day because it was a beautiful and a ceremonial, very colorful day. Because you can't force us out. You can't force us into what we don't know or we don't want to practice. It is not by force for me to be a Muslim. Not be by force. Everybody have right, have freedom of what? Freedom of worship. God Almighty that created heaven and earth give everybody choice, and we all have freedom to serve, to worship anything we want. God did not kill anybody. Why is it that in Nigeria everything, because IPOB decided to stand on their own, you say they are terrorists? Now They went and bribed Tinubu and co. When the government with co-post of them, Peter Mbase say he hold 50 evidence, but 50 evidence which he had against Simon Ekpan, he did not have 100 enough to hold against the Fulanis that are still buying people in Nigeria, still kidnapping people in Nigeria. Where is Peter Mbase? He should bind his head with shame. Enough of all these things. That is what got the international, the world powers talking. That means they lie. What you presented to them is not what they are, and which is the reality. We are not what we are called. We are not what we are being tagged. You understand? So Simon Ekpan doesn't supposed to be in prison while Sheikh Gumi will be walking freely. While Tujibelo will be walking freely. While all these terrorists will be walking freely demanding. Imagine they call federal government for ransom to come and pay them ransom before they could release 4 years old child. Children that they kidnapped in Yoruba land. Quite unfortunate that the Yoruba man is the one in power. All these things is happening. You understand me? See, all these things is something that the world is looking at, but Nigeria don't know. When you are blackmailing somebody, they will be looking into that matter to know if there is a clear evidence that qualifies what you are claiming or saying or what you have alleged against a person. You know, before the international body, the world powers are what they were silent over this matter, over the issue. They keep their fingers crossed, watching to see if what Nigeria said concerning these two persons, if it was true. But now they have realized that it is actually marginalization. It is actually intimidation. It is actually hatred. It is actually humiliation. It is actually non-acceptable because what we are doing, we are fighting for our rights. And the international world, Netanyahu said actually on May 30th that he has seen our affliction. He has felt our pains. So many world now has to speak up because what they accuse them of, that landed them in the prison, is not what they do. They didn't do it. It was as a result of that hatred and blackmailing. And that is why the world powers today is smoking fire, accusing and pointing finger to Alexandra Stubb. How can you, an European man who knows the law, how did you get out of Russia? Was it not like this that you played and you get out of Russia? Then if Russia should to blackmail you people like this, will you have your own freedom? And you stayed in a place to fight your own freedom, but because of you, the Alexandra Stubb is a criminal, and that is why he was given a contract by Nigerian government. Sidious Musa that traveled to Al Jazeera to lie against Simon Ekpan is no longer traveling again to speak of what is happening in Nigeria now. Bianco Ojukwu that wrote a petition that bears false witness against her own brother. Where are you now? Go and the VDM say something. And Sarah reporter, Sowore said something. And Sowore said, you know what Sowore said? Sowore said that if Nigerian government did not do anything, that they should prepare to see, that is Nigerian storming Aso Rock. Because of these children, 4 years that was kidnapped, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu didn't do anything. His government, both Sidious Musa, the chief defense whatsoever, they call themselves Akpabio and co, Shetima and co. None of them do anything up to this very moment. And they are busy enjoying in their homes, in their various houses. Then VDM said that is going to mobilize Nigerians, the well-meaning Nigerians, to come together and plan how they are going to, if it is to pay the ransom for those children to come outside. Then we have people like this, but we still have government. And our government, Nigerian government, is using the child, the children lives to play politics because of stupid, selfish interest 2027. You want to remain there. You want to remain there. Then you kukuma die there. For how long? For how long shall we continue in all this mess? You see why Nigeria is not moving forward? Because wrong people are the people in leadership